Well, hello my beautiful friends and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Today I am going to be giving the Blendiful from Tati Beauty a try. I haven't opened it yet and so I gave in, I caved, I got it. I'm curious about it. You know, she says it's gonna really be a game changer for flawless makeup. I watched a bunch of other YouTubers use it. Jen Lover's Reviews cut it open. That was kind of fun. But today is my day for trying it. I haven't opened it yet. Right, here we go. I've seen it a ton though on YouTube. And I know that it's two of them. It's the big blender and the little blender. And yes, they're very soft. And as we saw from Jen Loves Reviews cutting it open, there is a piece of foam tacked down inside of here. It's really soft. Like if you remember Velour from like the 70s, early 80s, totally feels like that. Now, Tati says that she did her whole face of makeup using her Blendiful. I'm not going there. That is not my comfort zone. I do already have primer on, even though she said she used hers for doing primer. I'm not doing that. I will, however, start with concealer. And this is the Jeffree Star concealer. This is in shade C13. All of the makeup that I'm using today, I have been using for like the last month, so I am very familiar with how it blends in with a beauty blender, my fingers, everything I've been using. So I just dotted it on, and like she says, she likes to, you know, the nice thing about this is you can fold it, bend it, do whatever you need to do to get it into tight areas. So I have folded it at the tip to give myself a little end to get in there and try to just get it where I want. I will say my very first impression here is that yes, this is, as Tati says, working the product in. I feel like it is leaving a lot more product on my skin than sucking up into a damp beauty blender, which is what I would usually do this step of my makeup with. And not a lot got left there on the Blendiful. I like that coverage. Okay, and my go-to foundation for like I said, about the last month, I've been doing a mashup. I love the Pat McGrath foundation. I can link that video down below in the description for you. So I try to do about 3/4 of a pump there, but it's a little thin. I like a little more coverage, and so I go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear, which, oh, you're just gonna, I can just feel it in the pump. You know, sometimes when the pump gets product jammed in the pump and it splurts everywhere, I just have a feeling, don't do it to me, don't do it to me. All right, duh. I tried to clean it off so it wouldn't look so nasty on camera, and I put it in the closed position, not the open position. Duh. Okay, so there are those two. I am going to mix them on the back of my hand, and I will dot that on, and yeah, just take the end of the Blendiful again, and she did kind of a press and roll motion, which I'm now remembering. Yeah, so now I will pick some up with the Blendiful and try to do that press and roll instead of just pouncing. I think I like it a little bit better when I put product on my face and then press and roll or pounce with the Blendiful. So the amount that I put on would have totally done my whole face with my fingers and then going over it with the Beauty Blender. And I'm just getting myself a little bit more here. So while I really liked what it was doing on this side where I put down a bunch of product, I wasn't real thrilled with picking the product up with the Blendiful and then applying. So let me go back here and do like I did for the first time. Also, going back to the pouncing motion, I feel like I like the pouncing motion a little bit better. Let's try up here. I will try the press and roll on this side of my forehead, and I will pick up foundation and then press and roll to apply on this side. And just looking, I'm not seeing a ton of difference. I'm gonna peek over to this, I've got a mirror in front of me, to the 7X side. Yeah, not seeing a ton of difference. I'm just gonna pick up that last bit of foundation that's on the back of my hand and pounce slash roll, whatever, the rest of it into my face. What the heck was that? All right, so I'm gonna say that while that was more product than I use when I do it just with my fingers and then kind of finish with a damp beauty blender, that the coverage, sorry, cat hair on my chin. See, I can just blendiful that away. The coverage is heavier than I get with that, and that's not good or bad, it just is. Now, Tati also uses her Blendiful for powders. So I have my Cover FX, the Perfect Setting Powder. This is in Translucent Light. What I like about this is it's got a hinged cap that's built in. And so then I'm just going to tap some out into the cap. And now I'm going to try grabbing another corner of the Blendiful, pick up powder, and apply setting powder with the Blendiful. That's pretty nice. All right. I'm certainly liking the outcome of using this. I have already primed my eyes, and I do also like to, when I'm done doing my setting powder, just do a little swipe across my eyelids before doing my eyeshadow. Wow. All right, I'm gonna say that that looks really nice, and maybe I'm seeing a little bit more of a finished and polished look than when I use my brushes, maybe. Let me take a peek at the 7X mirror here. See if I, okay. I am gonna go finish up my makeup and think about this a little bit more, and I'll be back. I have finished up my makeup. I also grabbed some lunch, and during that time, the my concealer under my eyes creased a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can get you in close enough to see that. We'll see if that is showing up. So Tati likes her little teeny tiny one for fixing that up, and so I'm going in and doing that, and now checking in the magnifying mirror, and yeah, did fine. Nothing that my fingers don't do. Just a little touch up where things sometimes crease. So as the last bit for applying makeup, I'm going to do my finishing powder, the It Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. And seems like this corner's pretty clean. I will say that I'm gonna guess in development, Tati got very comfortable with folding and bending and manipulating this thing. I do find it a comfortable size to hold in my hands, but I do find it a bit unwieldy here at this first use for really manipulating it as well as she did. So, getting some finishing powder and hitting where I would normally hit with that. I will say doing it this way, it feels like it's a little bit harder to tell exactly where I've gotten enough powder applied that it's going to last throughout the day. But I mean, not bad. I think this is one where I like my brush better than I like the Blendiful. What I'm going to do now is go wash this. Definitely, I think that is something you would want to do after every use. Tati says it washes up quickly, so I will do that and I'll come back with the results. Well, that was easy and not easy all at the same time. I used my Sephora Solid brush cleaner that comes in a little canister, just dipped in there. And that took care of everything except, I'm going to show you here, some foundation on the tip. So I went in again with the solid brush cleaner. Didn't work. I used hand soap. And on the second pump of using hand soap, I did, I think, finally get it clean. So yeah, under the bright lights here, it's now looking clean. But that was 4 passes, 2 with the solid brush cleaner, 2 with hand soap to get it, the foundation off of it, which really, that's a non-starter for me. Anything that's gonna take that much to get clean, it's supposed to save me time, not cost me time. But let's leave that aside. Is it a game changer? No, I don't think it's a huge game changer. Is it a tool that I'm happy to have in my arsenal? I think so. I want to say that it did a really nice job of giving me fuller coverage makeup than I usually wear, and it did it really nicely. That is one thing I struggle with, is if I do want something more full coverage, getting it there without it looking awful. So maybe for that application I would use this. But I did think it did it left a pretty makeup. I think it blended well. It was surprising that you could use it for both creams and powders. Seemed to work equally well. So do you have to run out and buy it? Goodness, no. If you're curious, yeah, go ahead. You know, it's what, $18.95, I think. So it's not outrageous. And yeah, I'm glad I got it. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, did you know that you can find me on Facebook and Instagram? And Monday through Friday, I post my makeup of the day every day, those places. So check me out there. The links are down below, or just look for Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a really fantastic day.